What's up, guys? My name is Brook. I am your host for the Madworld podcast. Today we have a special guest host with us. You may have seen him on one of the other episodes, or maybe you've seen me on one of his podcast episodes of What's in the Box. Zach Hein.
What's up?
You guys, today we have the awesome pleasure of sitting down with Radio for Pets. It's a local Green Bay emo punk band. We're going to ask them some questions just about how the band got started and pretty much whatever we can think of this entire episode. Billy, Rick, Jeff, thanks for coming on, guys.
Of course, glad to be here.
Yeah. Sorry, that took a second there. Well, the one thing I really wanted to start off with is the name, Radio for Pets. I can't imagine that's one you just kind of like, bing. So where did that come from?
So there is a cartoon called Avatar: The Legend of Korra, and I cannot remember what episode it is. I think I only watched it once in my all the way through. And there's an episode where there's like a sleazy businessman, and he's just throwing out ideas like, we could do cars for kids. Nah, no one's going for that. Blah, 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 blah. And in the middle of it, he goes, radio for pets. Nah, no. And that's really it. It's just, I was like, yoink, right in my back pocket. And yeah.
Shout out Avatar.
Yeah.
Shout out Avatar. Love that.
By the way, that's like the best reasoning for a band name.
Heard it somewhere.
Cartoon.
Yeah, it's just great that you were like, I'm going to use this one day. I don't know when, but this is great. So a question that we had was how easy or difficult was it doing an album during COVID, or like what like was struggling?
Oh no, you're good. So the band actually, so it's kind of a bit of a tale. So the band I was in previously was called 4-5 Dive, and we broke up over COVID. And then kind of like towards the end, I was like, man, I miss playing music, social distancing and all that. So I got together with the bass player from that band and was just like, do you want to start writing music again? Like, and you know, we'll just record something. And actually, that became Billy Block and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Year, which is our first single, and kind of what launched the band. And really all that happened is at the start of Radio for Pets, it was all of the members of the former band just being like, I don't know, do you guys want to play music again, I guess? And then predictably, all of them over the course of the band existing have left, and it's just me now.
So then, was the name for that single, was that also just a direct correlation with COVID being stuck in all year?
So there's a children's book called oh my god.
Oh yeah, what's the name of that?
It's just a
Harold. It's like some kid's name.
Yeah.
It's like
Harold and the No Good,
something like that.
Horrible, Very Bad Day. And so that was just another one of those. And actually, the music video, I did like a stop motion music video for the song, and I just basically the way I made all of the characters for it is I took the character from the children's book and kind of altered it and kind of traced over it and made each member of the band kind of freehand that way. And so it's kind of a reference to the book, and also, yeah, more of a just shaking my fist at the state of the world in 2020.
Right. Then sometimes I tease him by
Alexander in the horrible, terrible.
Sometimes I tease him by changing it to the book Holes, and I'll start calling it Billy Block and the. Well, what was it again? The no good, dirty, rotten, pig stealing great grandfather. I'm not sure how much he likes it when I do that.
So did writing that, because that was the single that you put out, so did that kind of like light a fire of like, oh, I'm getting to do this again, so I want to like try to see if I can make more of this? Or was it just kind of like natural of like, okay, we did the single, we'll just see like where this kind of goes?
The second option there, yeah, where once we got the ball rolling on that, it's like, okay, so we're just doing this again. And it kind of just kept going from there and hasn't stopped, really. Yeah.
One Hitter Wonder.
Yes.
That was released in 2022.
Correct.
one would argue some people were still kind of feeling the effects of COVID at the very least. People started going out a lot more at that point. But what, like, was that still very much for you guys just record, like, your own stuff and then just do your best to mash it together? Or were you guys at that point when recording that album just like, screw it, we're just going to hang out, we're going to do it in person?
So when we recorded the EP, we had already been out playing show. The vaccine had been out by then, so the whole band was vaccinated. We were. It was during like the vaccination mandates where everyone had the card.
Okay, all right.
I think
So
mine's still in my pocket.
it was kind of the era of the music scene kind of coming back out and getting back to the new normal.
Okay, yeah. I've only recently gotten to like out to music events. I'm very much like too loud. You know what I mean? So I've only recently started doing that, and I was never really sure how the music scene had actually recovered after COVID. So I wasn't entirely sure if even bands at that point were still like, maybe crowds of people aren't it for us right now. Let's just focus on making the music before we take it out.
Yeah, well, there was like a good solid year or two of us rehearsing in a basement by ourselves and not telling anybody about anything, like after the single came out, that 2022 was kind of the year we did come back to playing shows. So for that, from 2020 to 22, it was all just, writing, rehearsing, and getting as tight as we could. And honestly, there is something to be said for, I think, pre-COVID, the amount of like bands that we'd play with that I was like, wow, these guys are like on point, tight. Holy crap! Like this is one of a super talented band. Like it was, maybe 1 out of every 6 bands. And post-COVID, because everyone was practicing and that's all they were doing, after it came out, it was like, oh my God, every band that is playing now is just mind-blowingly good. And so well rehearsed and so tight. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, off of One Hitter Wonder again.
Yeah.
Recently, I believe I saw February. You had released the deluxe version.
Yes.
So, and I want to make this clear. This is coming from a place of one, never having written an album, let alone other songs to put onto the said album, right? So this is purely a curiosity thing, and I hope my wording on this is correct. You added, I believe, 4 songs.
3.
3 songs.
Yeah.
What is the process, or what was your process when you were looking at the new songs you had written or finally recorded, and you were like, I want to just make the original a deluxe version versus maybe starting a new project?
So the extra songs, one of them is just Billy Block and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Year. It had never been on a CD, so we kind of just included that with the bunch. And then the other 2 are just acoustic recordings of these songs that were already on the EP. So it's just...
Yeah, it was kind of, so we only put that up on Bandcamp, which is kind of like the only good service to make any money.
Oh,
And-
really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, you don't get paid shit from any of the streaming services, and, can we swear? Is that allowed? Sorry, I just dropped that without thinking about it.
You're good.
Because you get paid kind of most of what people pay for stuff on there, and we were just trying to fundraise for the current album a little bit, so it was kind of like, how can we sweeten the deal a little bit? Let's, you know.
So we were launching our Bandcamp for the first time. It kind of had been something we haven't done in the past. That's kind of always been one of those, maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't, because everyone listens to Spotify, everyone's on YouTube Music or Apple Music or whatever, and over the course of like the last, especially from when I put the EP out to now, the financial incentives for streaming have kind of like, for smaller bands especially, have just been getting less and less. Like, we made just releasing the EP on Bandcamp with the extra songs and stuff on it. We made more in like the first week than all of our streaming, after 10, 20,000 streams like combined.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's nice, but it's also kind of a damning indictment of Spotify and all that, because it's like, we have an average of last time I checked, I can't remember, it was forever ago, but we had 2,000 listeners on average or whatever a month, and it's we're kind of making peanuts,
Like a quarter of a penny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, they discontinued that shit.
But yeah, it was so yeah. The deluxe edition was really there to just launch our Bandcamp and kind of step into a new space we haven't been in before.
That's awesome. I'm glad that got clarification. I found out an hour before I got here that there was extra songs on that, and I was like, oh my god, I don't even have a Bandcamp. How can I figure this out? So I'm glad I got clarification.
So do you, with the deluxe already out, do you have any new music that you guys are working on?
Oh yeah.
Yes, we are going to be. You said this goes up in about 2 weeks.
I believe this will be the 14th. 14th.
My birthday.
Okay, I can get away. I can get away with saying it then. Yeah, no, absolutely. So we are going to be releasing our first full-length album, 12 songs, brand new. It is going to be July 17th, actually, right here at Madworld is where we're doing the show. Yeah, it is ridiculously exciting, and we still have a couple things to do to get it done. So if I
Done this for over a year now.
I'm
So.
just gonna hope that this doesn't age poorly. Yeah.
It'll get done.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Is that with the new, and obviously with the EP, even with the extra songs having seven or eight or whatever. Obviously, you guys being able to make more music than what makes it to the album. How is that process as far as what makes it, what doesn't, what needs to be reworked, sort of thing?
It's kind of what takes our passion, because we have a hell of a backlog.
Yeah, we kind of have a slow-ish songwriting process in that there's a backlog of ideas, and then just someone will bring an idea, usually Bill, and be like, how can we flesh this out? And then we'll just kind of focus on one song for a bit. So we don't have a whole backlog of finished songs. Pretty much every ready to go song, every performable song, newer performable song will be on this album.
Yes.
We don't have anything outside of that that's ready to go.
Speak for yourself.
Well, we.
The royal we. So our process is usually I will write just the lyrics, the vocals, and then kind of the basic guitar, the structure of the song, chorus, verse, bridge, yada yada, and then I throw it to these guys and go, yeah, do whatever. And the song always it never turns out how I hear it in my head, while I'm writing it. It always turns out 10,000 times cooler than anything I could have come up with on my own. Yeah.
So I have a question for you, but I also have a second one for the two of you. But as far as your vocals,
Yes.
Was that something that you worked on, or was that something that you, I don't want to say it just magically happened, but you sang one day and you're like, this is my voice, or did you try to find what you wanted your voice to sound like, if that makes sense?
No, it does. Again, not to have a boring answer, but it's kind of just a process, I definitely don't sing now the same way that I did, even 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Your voice kind of just naturally changes to match what you're working on, what you're writing, I think, anyway. And, sorry.
That's fine.
Freezing.
I was asking because to me, I don't, and this is just for me listening to it. To me, your voice is very distinct, unique to me, because even, and I told Brook this story when we were listening to the album, is that your voice in a way reminded me of a band very distinctly, not a group of bands, not you know how you can get in a genre and kind of a lot of bands kind of sound the same, but just general. But your voice was very distinct in my head, very specific.
Okay.
And so that's why that's why I had the question, is because I heard it in that way of say anything, that voice. And so that's why I was wondering if that influenced that, or if it just kind of just happened that way.
Basically, I will say the way I learned to sing. I wasn't classically trained or anything like that. It was sitting in my car singing along to "In Defense of the Genre" and "Is a Real Boy," on repeat while I was delivering pizzas. So you absolutely nailed it. No, they have obviously Max Bemis has been a massive influence on my style, and I hope I've done enough to differentiate myself from him.
I said that to Brooke. I was like, it's just really. It's when we were talking about it, I was like, it's just really weird because it was like I had to eventually like ask my wife like, what voice is this? Because like it was so distinct in my head that I was going through it. I was like, I've heard this like tone before.
But before I joined the band, I was watching him play a solo set with my fiance. And near the end of one song, she leaned over to me and she was like, he sounds a lot like the guy from Say Anything. And I had never heard Say Anything before. So I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then like literally 5 seconds later, Bill on stage goes, a lot of people tell me I sound like the guy from Say Anything. So here's Whoa by Say Anything. And she was just like, see, I told you. It's like, okay, I'll take your word for it.
But the compliment is that like, obviously like you have a very beautiful voice, and it's very nice. Like as a fan of Say Anything, like hearing that, it made me excited because I was like, that is a very distinct of me growing up and enjoying Say Anything. Like, so I was excited about that.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, and it was kind of part of my process of unlearning how to be in a metal band. Because prior to doing anything, emo, pop punk, anything like that, when I was in high school, it was like the peak era of like Bring Me the Horizon and Devil Wears Prada and Job for a Cowboy and all that. And if you wanted to be in a band, at least in my town where I grew up, that was it. You had to do Under Oath, and
that was it.
And that was it. That was all anyone wanted to do. That was the cool kid music at the time, I guess. And despite all of my protests and me being like, can we write a Motion City soundtrack song, guys?
We don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they'd kind of be like, shut up, nerd, and sing. Well, don't sing, scream. And yeah.
So as far as like you guys, because he kind of said like he kind of writes the lyrics and kind of has the melody and then kind of hands it off to you guys to like do whatever, make it sound good. Is there a process for like you guys like adding stuff to his singing? Or is there like kind of what you're feeling from what he gives you?
So he'll also kind of write the rhythm guitar parts. I'm lead guitar, and he'll write the rhythm guitar parts. So I'll kind of have that structure to work off of. And then it's a bit of sending stuff back and forth because like I live in Appleton, so I'm not driving to his house 5 days a week to work on stuff, So sometimes we'll jam on stuff in rehearsal a little bit and kind of talk about. Sometimes it's just me sitting alone and then recording stuff and sending it and going, "How's this? Give me feedback." Usually there's a bit of back and forth. Yeah, it's pretty collaborative. I don't know about you.
Usually, or since I joined the band, they already basically had most of the album already ready to go. So there's a lot of demos already for the drum parts that they had in mind, and I tried to learn those as best I could and try to put my own swing on it a little bit as best as I could. There's two of the songs that I contributed the most. I feel a little bit more proud of, and I was able to help a lot more with writing those ones. But I'm interested to see how everyone responds to how it all comes out once the album's ready.
I know it's not what you meant, but you said you put your own little swing on it, and I imagined like a swing drummer, and you had like that like metal thing where it's
Not this time.
exactly
Maybe next album.
It's going on the next one.
Maybe next album.
like black suit and tie. Okay, sorry. All right.
We go to some weird places on the record. Oh yeah.
So yeah, you talked before about like different, like the songs all start going in different directions. Wait until you see the album.
We say 12 songs. It's actually 23.
Yeah,
Wrapped in
all,
12 songs.
Like one song's like 3 all mashed together.
So you had mentioned your show coming up here in July.
Yes.
Leads me to a question I try to ask most bands, artists that ever have to deal with a venue. What is your favorite venue or venues, if you can't pick just one? And then is there a venue that is kind of like a goal venue to have?
Ooh.
Is it a cop-out to say that I never think that far ahead?
You know what? As the lead singer, yeah, it is a cop out. As a lead singer, it is a cop out, and I'm gonna
He's
need at
also
least
our booking agent.
Oh, then yeah, no, I'm gonna need at least one answer. You don't gotta give me many, but one.
It's less venues. I mean, I've got like my dream list of like, God, I would die if I could open for Pup, or
More
my-
bands than places.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like bands than venues. My favorite shows personally have always been in a sweaty basement with 50 people definitely breaking the fire code.
That's where the punk comes in. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. And like there's a couple basement venues we play, and I love playing them, and some not you guys are cool, but our other members can be sticks in the muds a little bit about it, where they're like, I just genuinely, like, if something goes wrong, like I'm just done. Yeah. And it's like, whatever, it's fine. It's about the vibe.
I know you guys recently did a show at GBUFO.
Yes.
It's got that nice little combination of you kind of have some daylight, but also, you know, you have rafters you can hang on. How did that show go?
It went good.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, very tight space, but sometimes that's fun for this type of stuff because you're really up close to everybody.
Yeah.
And if people are vibing with it, you can see them directly. There's no stage lights to blind you from the audience.
Speak for yourself. I'm always blind on stage.
That was one of the shows where I always say I'm the all the time singer, some of the time guitar player for the band, and that was one of the shows where I was filling in on the rhythm guitar, and I'm almost a little happy it was that way, because every time we've played in like a really tight space like that, Sam has bonked me in the head with his guitar at least a couple times in the set, and it's both like because I wiggle a lot, he wiggles a lot, and it's.
He's also a tall man, so his limbs kind of fly around.
He can't see me. He just can't see me down there.
I produce, at least right now, while Madworld is getting its renovations done, I produce a weekly comedy open mic there, and that's the one thing every comic there says. It's like, it's very intimate, because like with all of our chairs set up, there's like maybe a 4x4 space where a comic can like kind of bounce around. But yeah, no, we love it there though. It's a vibe.
It's awesome. It was,
Tom,
great vibe. It was really cool.
Tom and Pierre set us up really nicely, so we're appreciative of that.
They're awesome guys. They're cool.
Yeah. So you were in a band before.
Yes.
So the dynamic between all of you, did that like kind of not just like the dynamic in like making music, but like being on stage and like all of that, did that like take some time to like cultivate and get, or was it kind of easy? Did you guys kind of fall into that sort of easy?
It's always something that I feel like I'm pushing for, is for you guys to be more active and more dancing again, because I always come back to like my time doing metal, especially like you can get on stage and play the most technically perfect like the immaculate performance that's ever been put on, but if you're just standing there like a stone, like it's masterful, it's great, but it's not entertaining. And I've always seen myself as an entertainer first and a musician second, and putting on a good show or putting on a fun show is more important to me than putting on like an artistical, masterful, you know.
I had to your point, there was I won't name the band, but there was a pretty famous band that I went to go see, and I was really excited. It was the first time that they'd ever played in the U.S. in, I think, 10 years. And I was really excited. We went there, stood in the rain for 2 hours while it's pouring rain to get in. Got there, and that's kind of what they did. They did a set of maybe 10 of their hits, stood there on stage, no energy, and it's a real energy band, no energy, and then kind of just went, okay, see you guys later. And it's like one of those where like there is a point of like the songs were great. The songs were exactly how they should sound, everything. It was just from an audience standpoint, standing there and just watching them just stand there, it kind of killed the vibe of it. So again, to the credit, I appreciate bands that do have that energy and that ability to kind of like realize that this is like a show too.
Right, exactly. And the way I always think about it is the recorded music is there. you know. So if you want to hear the music at its perfect and at its best, and like and the way it was recorded, like listen to the album, put on some headphones, and really dig in and hear all the intricacies. But on stage, you know, no one's paying that much attention. You know, they're watching the performance. They're there to see something, not just hear something. And, you know, I'm always very cognizant of that, which is why you need to dance.
This is at me.
I'm
not limber.
I usually build myself into a corner with a drum set.
I was just gonna
don't
say,
have
an excuse.
I don't have room.
Jeff, if you could get up from the drum and start dancing,
Yeah,
that
do a
would really
backflip.
go for
I
it.
keep bothering him to get me a Britney mic, so
Yes.
when I do backup, so that's even less of something to get in my way, so I can.
You also need a silk shirt too, just to
Oh God, yeah,
really kill it.
hell yeah.
I've been trying to think of whatever band you might have been talking about because you said the whole like first time in the U.S. for like 10 years. Was it Ghost?
No, it wasn't. No, that was what fucked me up about it. Ghost went before him. So I got to see Ghost, like the full performance, the full like cathedral, the full everything, and it was fucking amazing. No, it's System of a Down.
Oh man,
It was
That's-
their first.
that's so disappointing.
It was my honeymoon too. That's why we went, and it was like we went for that reason because it was the first time that they were in the U.S. and we were able to get to them without paying like $700. And yeah, stood in the rain for 2 hours and Ghost went before them, and it was phenomenal because Ghost is always phenomenal. And then yeah, they just stood there, played the hits, left. Never.
man.
It was bad.
Well, and to that point, you know, it's something I realized when I was a bit younger. My dad took me to see like the Razor Rock Festival or whatever. It was like, the lineup. I was like Drowning Pool and Seether and Stained and you know dad bands and.
My dad took me to see all the dad bands.
And I'll never forget. Like it was an experience I had there that kind of clicked all of this together for me. Was a band played there called Nonpoint, which I did not care for. Like I was like, you know, whatever. Of all the bands on the list, they were like the bottom of the list for me. And all the other bands came out and just stood there and played their songs, technically accurate and very well. And then Nonpoint came out and put on a fucking show. And I'm like, walking into this room, I did not like you. Leaving it, I am Bullet with the name. Like that's how it goes. Like so, like a good performance can elevate. You know,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I went and saw Electric Six here in Green Bay back when it was still the Lyric Room.
Yes, I was.
And
at that show.
Were you at that show?
I was
You saw
at that
Volt,
show.
Volk in the beginning too, right?
Yes. Oh,
Volt,
they were amazing.
They were very like coming through the crowd and everything. It was a very good show. But that's kind of what that made me think of, is because the lead singer the whole time, he just really just kind of like had a grin on his face and just stood there. So I was like, I don't know, he killed it. He didn't do much of it. He killed it.
He did. He looks like he killed it.
Yeah, no, he had aura.
Dick Valentine has that.
That was his name.
Has just that electric sexual magnetism. Like,
Yeah.
all he has to do is stand there, smile, pull out that towel every once in a while. That is all that man needs to do, and I will be riveted.
No, that was a super good show. We're gonna move to the game portion of tonight's episode.
Okay.
FX, you want to dial that up, brother? All right.
Hold on. I have one more question.
Oh yeah, go for it.
One more question. To lead into this. So we already talked about Say Anything. Is there any other like influences? Because like with multiple people in a band, there's like multiple musical influences. So obviously like you have yours, and you guys have yours. It makes different. Do you blend that into the music, and what of those influences have you taken like pieces of like this would be really cool to kind of feed into this?
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, Say Anything, obviously. Like, I'm never going to escape that. It's just how I sound and kind of how I write. I would attribute my, like, lyrical style, though, a lot more to my experience with the Dresden Dolls. Amanda Palmer, she was massively influential on me growing up. If you're not familiar with them, I think their one hit was called, like, Coin Operated Boy. And it's just, you know, a piano, a drummer, and her wailing. And her lyrical style is I think, a big part of, it kind of shaped a big part of how I write lyrics. And then going into this album, because I feel like you never stop gathering influences. You know, as an artist, you're kind of always taking in everything you experience. And this album, I mentioned Pup. They have kind of become my most favorite like current band. And there's a lot of their sort of gang vocal like 8-part harmonies in every song. There's a lot of that on this record.
Yeah.
Kind of like Pop Beach Boys, sort of.
Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place influence-wise. I was not like super into pop punk before joining this band. I like growing up. I was very into like classic rock. A lot of the first stuff I played was classic rock and a lot of Foo Fighters, to be honest. Now I have a degree in classical and jazz guitar, and I don't know if that shows up that much in here because that seems a little too far out. But
I think so a little bit when you listen to the album, when you start hearing some of your leads. I think so anyway.
You've got the jazz in your blood, man. It's about the notes you're not playing. It's
space, man.
Yeah.
What about you?
Probably since I started playing drums is about the same time I also first started really getting into punk. And at the time, I was listening to a lot of Green Day. And over the years, that's probably still the constant for me, I would say, is probably Trey Cool and Green Day. Like, I obviously get influenced by a lot of other bands and different genres that I go through phases of and listen to a lot. But at the end of the day, I think it always comes back to that kind of style. I think had the most influence on me in my like 15, almost 20 years of drumming now.
Okay, real quick, just because I'm curious, favorite Green Day album then to go off of?
Oh man, you're gonna judge me. Probably because it came out around the same time as that was when I was a young preteen becoming like a teen. American Idiot came out.
Okay, no, I wouldn't judge that.
I love that album. Everyone judges it because like, oh, they sold out, but whatever. But I still love it. I still love everything that came before it as well. I love Dookie.
I would say in your defense of American Idiot, I would say front to back Green Day album. It's probably the best constructed Green Day album.
That whole album is just.
Because like there's and granted, like I've also listened to American Idiot.
Oh yeah.
Throughout my entire childhood and growing up, but like that was put together so well that even people that haven't obsessed over it like that, the moment one song ends, your brain already knows what the next one is. Like it was so like well put together that even casual listeners can be like, "Oh, Boulevard of Broken Dreams comes next." Like,
oh yeah.
So I would say, defending
American
Idiot, I would say it was the most put together and best Green Day album.
Yeah,
That was it. That was all.
this is judgment-free zone. But I guess if anyone else had any other albums that they're unsure of, we'll throw them out there. All right. We're just going to do a fun little blind ranking here. Like I said earlier, it's about 10 albums from what we would believe to be either influences or just kind of the same genre. If there's collectively an album that you guys are like, what? We'll just put it at the lowest number.
Okay.
Yeah? All right. FX, do you want to start us with the first one? And then give me a shout out because I can't really see which ones are which. Yeah, so the left go down and then up. Nope. I'll go up to the top. Yep, and then you'll kind of snake down and then back up. A U. A big old U.
Well,
Well.
good start.
So, yep, that would be Say Anything. That was on the list.
Israel Boy.
Israel Boy.
That record came into my life at the perfect time. Like it is. I was pubing the hell out, and it changed my brain chemistry. Like for me, that one is probably number one for sure. But I will.
There's a lot of other options on here. That's all I'll say.
Yes.
This isn't a bait one.
It might move.
This isn't a bait. Well, you can't move anything. That's what I'm saying. You got a blind rate. Once you put it in a spot, it's gonna. FX, what are you doing?
Deleting everything.
Never mind. He's giving you a.
There we go. I discovered this album 2 years ago when we covered that one song off of it.
Okay.
But I thought it was pretty good.
This is a collective conversation, so you guys can decide where.
Did you know this?
No.
No?
Have you ever
Have you heard
listened
this
to it?
at all?
No.
No.
That's funny.
What?
That was
Which one did you
they were playing it before I joined the band.
Yeah. He hasn't covered that with us. Yeah, we did that with the previous
he's
They
drummer.
did not tell me to learn that.
Yes, he's only been in the band for like a year.
Yeah. We covered it about 2 years ago.
I wanted to wait till we got this part with this album specifically, because the first thing when I was like, "Hey, we're gonna have you on as a guest host. These are our guests." Like 2 minutes later, he was like, "Go listen to this song. This is exactly what they sound like." And what song was it off that album?
It was. I can't remember what it's called. It's their hit though.
Is it?
Sing a bar.
No.
No, we don't do that here.
You don't want that.
We don't do that here.
You don't want it even if we did it. No, but it's like they're. It's like.
Is it
Alive with the Glory of Love?
No, I can get sexual too.
Oh, yeah.
That was the one. But yeah, it was because the first song that I ever listened to when he said that you guys were on was Fake Tats.
Yep.
And like within like the first 30 seconds, like I said before, I was like, I fucking know this. Like this is fucking crazy. Like, and I was going through other things, and I was like, no, it's not that one. No, it's not that one. And then my wife, I played it for my wife, and I was like, what band is it? I can't. And she's like right off the top of her head, she's like, yeah, say anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you sure? And then I played that, and I was like, oh fuck, like yeah.
She's like, "You're dumb. This is Say Anything."
no, seriously, it was that quick.
We're gonna get sued.
All right. Where are we thinking we want to put Say Anything?
Well, I can't in good conscience put it all the way at top because these guys.
He hasn't even heard it.
Yeah, let's put it a 3.
Hey, I'll take your word for it.
We'll give it a 3. We'll give it a 3 and see what happens. Whoa.
That's good. That's what we want. All right. Panic at the Disco.
Ooh. So this is probably my controversial music take is my favorite album by them is the Beatlesy one. Pretty Odd is or no. Yeah. Is that what it's called?
I don't know him well enough by album.
Oh.
yeah. I know some things, but I don't know like album by album.
So, and again, I need to emphasize it's because when this album came out, I was in like the shitty high school metal scene. It was not it was not cool to like Panic at the Disco. So this one's always kind of had a stain for me. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know this one much, so we can put it lower.
Let's give it an 8.
An 8.
Yeah,
8.
sounds good.
Because there's bangers on it for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I fear I'm not gonna know like any of these.
All right. I believe it says on the album. Yeah, because this is one of the bands. The Bravery. And we're already off to a bad start with this one. We kind of all talked, me, Zach, and Christian, and we were like, all right, these are some bands they may or may not know. This was kind of on the question mark.
This is a not know. I've never
Want to
heard
slap
of
it
this.
on 10?
Yeah, slap that one on 10.
I've never heard of it.
Right over my head.
Sorry, guys.
The Used.
Ooh.
I'll be transparent. This is the only Used album I know. And it's like maybe like 4 songs off of it.
Well, it's one of
It
their
was
best.
super good, though.
I would say Box of Sharp Objects is, again, another one of those very formative songs for me. My band, my high school band, covered like 3 songs off of this album. Are you guys familiar with it at all?
Not super. Not like.
Not
I
the album,
Can't
no,
recall
but
songs. I've heard a few. I could not think of
I
them.
first heard The Used on the movie Grind. They have a song, I believe, towards the end of the film there. Yeah, that was my first experience. I was like, I got to look into these guys. Poetic Justice. That I believe was the song name. Well, all right. So what are we thinking, guys?
Well, if you guys don't know it, let's go just a nice even 5.
Sure.
Billy the leader here.
5 feels nice.
We're gonna end up with something terrible at 1.
Yeah.
I know what's in here.
Because we're hesitating too much. We're going to end up with crap on one.
Is that Newfound Glory?
Newfound Glory.
I personally I've never liked his voice. It is always he's got that like he is like I feel like the quintessential like nasally pop punk. Like it's all out of his nose.
I'm so glad you're willing to rip into some of this stuff. If it was going to be just nice the whole time, I was like, we're going to just cut this. We can play a game.
Just imagine if Sam would have made it. He
We
would have
didn't
been
have
even more
We'd
brutal.
have so many opinions on all this.
Yeah. I want to put that one at a 9, but if you guys have strong
No,
feelings
I'm good
about
with
it,
that. I'm
Go
good
for
with
it.
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
You guys like Newfound Glories, and I guess I can.
Nope,
Yeah.
nope.
Oh no.
Didn't see it.
I'm blind. I'm blind.
Yep, do that one, Vines.
Vine? I don't know this one.
I also don't know this one.
Is the Vines the band name?
Yes.
Oh, yep. No,
I have no idea who that
No
is.
idea.
There's a super.
Sorry, Panic.
They're
They're now below someone we don't know.
Okay, hold on. Time out. If they end up with the one that I said for number 1, you owe me $5.
I don't remember which one you said, so I'll just have to go off of
I was
faith.
gonna say, you'll see it.
Alkaline Trio.
Alkaline Trio, I was going to say, I believe, was that album.
I know. I feel like Adam and Sam like Alkaline
I would
Trio
say
a
I know
lot. hear them
our
talk about
other
them a lot.
members. I mean, what's the shaking like a dog shitting razor blades? Like me and the bass player play that song at rehearsal like almost every week. Like we'll just groove on that for me. I love that song. I would be willing to stick that at a 4. Do you guys? Are you guys Alkaline Trio stands?
Like I've heard them, I like them. Again, it's like I don't. It's not ones that I like can recall off the dome.
I am also not. Most of the time, I'm not a very big like whole album person. I'm just a few songs here or there from different artists. So.
I relate to that heavily.
But I definitely fuck with some Alkaline Trio.
We got to put this one up higher for Adam.
Yeah.
Because I think
Yeah.
he warms up on their bass lines every rehearsal.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do number 2. We'll do number 2 for Alkaline. Number 2. Yeah. Oh, they're fantastic.
Okay.
That
Okay.
3. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Look
This was
at me.
basically an automatic ad.
Yes. I was gonna say, look at me. Look how I look. Take it in. Where's the camera? Camera 1, camera 2.
That was also in my list. That was also in my list that I sent Brook of like there has to be influence. Like there's no way.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
be
yeah.
Incredibly surprised if there wasn't.
So again, if it can't be told by like my whole thing going on, I was a theater kid. 100%. I know. And these guys, because like growing up, when I was younger, kind of before this music really all started coming out, for me, my dad was a big grunge head. So it was my house was Pearl Jam, Nirvana. So like, and he was very like hair metal, the 80s. Fuck that. So I hadn't experienced like a very theatrical band before they came out, and
then the Black Parade happened.
and then the Black Parade happened. I would put 3 Cheers at 1 personally, but
Yeah. I mean, they were a band that I was. They were one of the few pop punk bands that I was actually into as a kid. So they're up there for me.
Yeah. All right, 3 Cheers 1. Oh man.
All right.
Motion. Oh, Motion City soundtrack.
Yeah. That also was the other one. It was that, My Chemical Romance, and Say Anything. I was like, if they're not influences in some way.
Yes.
Insane.
Well, and Motion is like it was kind of like between them and The Cure growing up, where it's like, oh, you can make a song that sounds like bubbly and poppy and happy, but the lyrics can just be miserable. Like,
Super harsh.
yes, exactly. Like, no, they were a very big influence on me, I think, growing up as well. Like, I love that album. Was that let's get racked on Pop-Tarts and sex and that line burnt in my head. No, absolutely. I would put them probably at the 4. Yeah.
4?
Yeah.
All right, and then you guys might have got a peek a little bit earlier, but we want to put your guys' last.
No, stinky.
Yeah.
10.
No, get that.
11 is
out of
11. 11.
Put that 11.
I know. Get it out.
Get
of
it out.
here. No, again, this might make me sound like a tool, and I'm totally okay with that. I listen to my own music a lot. I really do. I know like people get a lot of shit for that, but it's like, for me, I always throw back, when people are like, you like to listen to your own shit. What's wrong with you? It's like, would you walk into a Subway, see a guy eating a sandwich, and be like, you ate the sandwich you made? Are you kidding me right now?
I think that's where like it should be as far as artists. Like you should like. Obviously, nobody like writes a song and is like, "I hope people like it." That was shit. Like,
Yeah,
you
right,
should-
Yeah, like,
right,
we're
right,
writing
right.
it for
Like,
ourselves to like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should like it. Like I've heard other bands that say the same thing, that like it makes them sound like pretentious in a way, but like they'll listen to it and they actually enjoy, like, oh, remember that song that we did? Like I really enjoy that.
It absolutely it brings back memories, and and again it's like.
I was a fan before I joined the band. I was showing all my friends. I was like, because we like shared a show in my previous band. We had shared a show with Radio for Pets, and I was like, this is awesome, and I was literally showing all my friends this EP.
So yeah, like I've also known Bill for probably like 10 years now at this point. My other band is called Bud. We've played countless shows with both 4-5 Dive and then Radio for Pets once that became a thing, and then once they needed a drummer, I was just planning on filling in for them, and then they asked me to stick around, and
We roped him
and
in.
then here we go. So I was also a big fan before I joined too. So
He just fell in love with you guys. He couldn't.
It was more so drummers are really hard to find. So once we had him
Once
in,
we had
we put
someone,
him.
we couldn't let him go.
Put him in a headlock,
Try
and
as
we're
he
like,
might.
yeah. Actually, this is the first time we've let him out of the basement since he joined the band. He's normally chained to a wall.
Why aren't you
But it makes
practicing
such
right
good
now?
music.
Exactly. Well, it's like Whiplash. You have to absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You
yeah,
really
yeah.
get that heartache and pain when you're chained to the radio.
You can hear the fear in the drumming.
Where can people find your guys' music?
Gotcha. So primarily Bandcamp. That is for especially digital now. Everything goes on Bandcamp first. That's kind of our strategy going forward. Because again, it's the streaming services. They're evil. They keep doing things like fucking Spotify just donated like a bunch of money to like arms development or some shit like that. Like every story you hear out of streaming services at this point is like, hey, not only are they fucking you, the musician, but also they're doing their best to fuck the planet. And not to say Bandcamp, Bandcamp I think is owned by like Epic Games, and that's a whole ball
is
of
true.
worms.
Yeah.
Like child gambling aficionados, Epic Games. But
Yeah.
so I'm not saying they're squeaky clean, but at least. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But at least they at the moment, who knows when it changes, but at the moment they treat artists better than basically any other platform. So
Yeah, I mean the thing I always think about is how all the big artists like Neil Young, all the big like artists who would protest against the music industry like 20 years ago would always complain about iTunes. If we had an iTunes download, we'd be thrilled.
yeah.
So Bandcamp is kind of the place to go to support your favorite bands. A lot of bands sell merch on there. We don't do that yet, but a lot of bands sell merch on there. And it's kind of just a nice way to leave a tip. You see a good band at a show.
I've always liked too that a lot of the times if you want, like, people can pay more too. If they really want to help support someone, they can pay even more than the listed price or a donation or whatever.
Yeah, watch out for Bandcamp Fridays where the service doesn't take a cut. Yeah. Gives it all to the artist.
It's crazy. It's very cool, and not to be so focused on money, but we did just spend like $5,000 making an album.
It's expensive making an album.
We still got a little more to finish and distribute.
Yeah, but yeah, and then the music will eventually make its way to other streaming platforms, whether that's a month or two down the line, the full thing, or what I kind of want to do, which is just a song every month to can feed the algorithm.
We also did just do a DIY music video shoot last week that we're still working on editing. We'll be releasing that on YouTube soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Any speculation of a date that might be? Or?
When Bill finishes editing it.
That's what it
A lot of things in the process because no one helps me is it.
I don't know how to edit.
I don't know how to edit, and I'm working all the time.
Is it does come down to between my job and my house and my family and my pets and when can I get it done?
Right.
But hopefully within like the next 2 or 3 weeks there'll be a music video drop, but we'll see.
That'd be awesome to have an episode of this drop and your video drop. That'd be great.
Some motivation to crank it out.
Any band members you want to shout out before we split?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, you guys couldn't all make it.
Yes, Sam, Adam, you continue to be horrible, absent and disappointments. And every time we do a speaking engagement, you just somehow happen to be busy. And I know. Yeah.
We're going to get just cardboard cutouts of them.
Body doubles. It's like Adam, but like 8 feet tall.
And we make Sam 3 feet tall.
No, absolutely. Adam, Sam, I hope you guys are having fun at home watching us have fun without you. And we love you very much. And we wish you were here.
All right, guys. I want to thank all three of you for coming on. You guys made some time within your busy schedules to come on here. We're thankful to have that. So I can't thank you enough, honestly. Zach, thank you for coming in, giving me a hand. Give yourself a hand. Always. Well, guys, that's been all. I'm gonna have to recut this.
I would say you're gonna have to give him room to. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, guys, that's been the Madworld podcast. My name is Brook. Again, thank you, Zach, for coming in and helping me do this. It's been a wonderful time. Again, Pets for Radio. Good fucking. Radio for Pets. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
July 17th, right here at Madworld.
Correct.
Come check them out here at Madworld, July 17th.
Get your hands on a CD if I have them done in time.
Have a good night, guys. I'm gonna just try and clean that up, and then we're just gonna go with it.